Hi, I'm Tim Foley, and this is the story of my first week at Camp Fatima. I came up to Visitors Day in 1983. A few of my friends were volunteers at Camp Fatima. I was hooked. I volunteered. The next year, I jumped in a caravan with Rob Mack, Pat Mack, Dave Fitz, and a few other of my friends, and that was my first year at Camp Fatima. Hold on. I'm not done. That's not the end of the story. Take these credits down. Okay. The real story begins when my camper showed up. His name was Dave Brown. He was an 11-year-old Down syndrome boy. He showed up in a van. We opened up the door. He stuck his head out, and then he sat right back down. He didn't want to be there. Eventually, his grandmother took his bags, put him on the grass, and pulled him out of the van. And then she just drove away. I thought to myself, oh my God, what did I get myself into? And then I thought, how hard can this be? Rob McIntyre can do it. So I brought his bags down to cabin 16 and moved him in. And then we explored camp. All day, no matter where we went, no matter who we talked to, all he said was, I want to go home. I want to call my grandmother. Didn't matter where we went or what I did, all he said was, I want to go home. I want to call my grandmother. So finally, I gave in. I said, let's go call your grandmother. So we went to the nurse's office, because that's where the telephone was. So at the nurse's office, I explained to them that he really wants to call his grandmother and he really wants to go home. And they explained to me that campers never make phone calls, ever. Now I was stuck. So I begged with them and I pleaded with them. What if we... All I heard for the rest of the day was, I want to go home. Later on in the cabin, one of my cabin mates said, Dave, if you really want to go home, there's the road. He stood there looking, and I said to him, Dave, before you go, we should have a going away party for you. So we sang songs, we had candy and tonic. I drew him a map. I packed a package for him, put some snacks into a bandana and tied it onto the end of a stick. And then we sang, For He's a Jolly Good Fellow, as he walked down the road. Every once in a while, he would turn around and wave goodbye to us. I followed behind him. Eventually, he stopped at the gazebo. So I walked over to him and I said, Dave, what gives? And he said, I'm very tired and it's dark out. I'm going to wait till tomorrow before I go home. And then I had an idea. On the way back to the cabin, I said, Dave, I don't really like it here either. I want to go home too, and I have a plan. And if you help me, I'll take you with me. So the next morning we woke up and I said, all right, here's the plan. We're going to signal for an airplane to come and pick us up and take us home. But first, we need to build an airstrip. So we spent the rest of the morning rummaging around camp, finding anything we could to mark out an airstrip. I also made a sign that said, help us. And then we waited. And waited. And waited. While we waited, people would come over to us and talk to us. Dave seemed a lot more relaxed. Eventually, we realized that a plane was probably not going to be coming. We needed a new plan. And then I said, I know, let's build a boat ramp. The next plan was to build a boat dock so a boat can come and pick us up. On the way down to the waterfront, Dave started talking to more and more people, and he started to have fun. Eventually he said to me, you know, I like it here. I think I want to stay. And I said, you know, I'm glad to hear that because I like it too. And I too want to stay. The rest of the week was fantastic. The theme that year was Finian's Rainbow. It was an Irish theme. Dave changed his name to Seamus O'Toole. He had a scully cap, an Irish sweater, and carried a shillelagh. We even got a button that said Seamus O'Toole on it, and everybody called him Seamus. I also had a great week. Well, that's the story of my first year at Camp Fatima. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you all next year.